What's going on, everybody? Storm Tracker Sam here. Today, on this episode of Education and Learning, we're going to be going over tornado watches and tornado warnings and what they mean. This is a topic that not many people know about or notice within the EAS alert you'll get on your phone. So, without further ado, let's dive into it. The watches and warnings. We have four different identifications for a tornado and its possibility. Starting off, we have a tornado watch, a tornado warning radar indicated, tornado warning radar confirmed, and lastly, a tornado warning observed. But before we actually dive into what those mean, we're going to go over how they are seen and what will dictate an EAS activation. This is going to be shown by going over the different kind of radar products used to detect a tornado. Storm relative velocity is a kind of radar product that can measure the different velocities within a storm and tell us where they are going. It'll only give us two directions: away from the radar, which is red, or towards the radar, which is green. Storm velocity is a relatively simple radar product to understand, as there is not much that goes into it. When the red and green are next to each other, this is called a couplet. Remembering the perspective of the radar, cyclonic rotation can be seen when the red is on the right. When this is seen, an EAS alert will be requested to issue a tornado warning, which will also say how it was indicated. A way to remember velocity products is by thinking that the radar wants the wind to come to it, so it will give it a green light, and when the wind is going away, it'll give it a red light. Another radar product used to detect tornadoes is called correlation coefficient. The correlation coefficient radar is rated from a 0 to 1% scale, and it will measure whether the rain droplets and the storm are all the same size or bigger. Measurements above 0.9 will indicate the rain is alike to each other, and heavier when it dips into the lower 90s. Measurements in the 0.8 range will typically indicate very heavy rain or hail. Anything below 0.8 may indicate something bigger than hail. Now that we've gone over the two radar products used to see the rotation, let's go over the kinds of watches and warnings. A tornado watch will be issued well before a storm system has hit its peak potential or location, often told with the severe weather outlooks. The National Weather Service will issue a watch if the conditions are there to produce rotation, or if there is already slight rotation within the storm as it's building up, which can often mean a supercell is building. Watches will be issued either days or hours before the storm to allow for preparation. This does not mean that there is a tornado on the ground or that this is a warning. A tornado warning radar indicated will be issued if the National Weather Service has observed tight couplets and rotation on the storm relative velocity radar. Now, just because it has been issued does not necessarily mean there is a tornado on the ground or that there's even a funnel cloud. But regardless, you should treat the warning the same as if there were a tornado on the ground and heed the directions of the NWS and emergency management. On the radar, this may also be accompanied by a hook echo on the reflectivity radar. Tornado warning radar confirmed. This rating will be issued when they can visually observe a tornado via radar. They do this using the velocity product and the correlation coefficient product and lining them up together. When the correlation coefficient product indicates a reading below 80, it will be an indicator for something bigger than hail or rain. Debris. Debris will pop up on the radar if it's being tossed up high enough to hit the scan, and will show different ratings below 80%. It will also typically show itself in a circular fashion, often indicating a tornado is on the ground. This is called a debris field or a debris ball. Tornado warning observed. This rating of a tornado warning will be issued if the tornado has been observed by someone. A call can be made by anyone that there's a tornado on the ground, but it will always be verified by official personnel, which is where it will say that it was observed by trained weather spotters, law enforcement, or emergency management. There have been many instances where a trained skywarn storm spotter will be called out to the area of rotation in order to see eyes on and report back to the National Weather Service on their findings. Now that we've gone over how these warnings are issued, you can take this knowledge to real life. Applications such as Radar Omega, MyRadar, Radar Scope, and many others can all offer to you the different radar products to observe these events. Remember to always open up the EAS alert and read what it says, as it will provide to you all the information that the National Weather Service knows. You can also keep tuned to local news stations, weather streamers, and the National Weather Service radio to hear all the latest information about severe weather event. And always treat every warning as if it were confirmed to be on the ground. Do not go chasing a storm or trying to spot a tornado unless you are a professional storm chaser or certified official, such as Skywarn or emergency management. Organizations such as Skywarn play a vital role in the confirmation of tornadoes and severe weather, and becoming a Skywarn spotter is easy. The requirements are that you must be at least 18 years of age and be able to observe weather events. You can contact your local National Weather Service office for in-person classes or online classes. Once you complete those classes, you can become a certified Skywarn spotter. Thank you for tuning in on this video, and I hope that you guys take this knowledge and apply it to real life. Remember to always be wary of any kind of weather events coming your way, and listen to local emergency management and the National Weather Service on what they say for these events. We're going to stay safe, guys, and stay tracking.